A lot of times the number one thing that people tell me is I'm worried about running out of money. As a matter of fact, that's not a lot of times, that's all the time. People want to know that they're going to die with $1 in the bank. But after a decade of helping people save for, invest, and get into retirement and ultimately have that successful, high confidence retirement where they know that money's going to be there the next day, I found that it's typically not like a big thing that really drains a retirement account. It's a bunch of small things. So even if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I've got enough assets, I've got enough money to last in retirement, this video still can be helpful and help you cut out some things. And I'll get to the one big thing, but first I'll go over a couple small tweaks that you can make. But all that can kind of add up to make a big difference and give you a higher level of confidence or just more money in the bank at the end of the day, which can maybe help you maximize your retirement. I'm going to show you how to cut down on your budget, pretty typically painless things that can result in thousands of extra dollars in your retirement. Then I'll show you the one budget item that you must cut that not only will probably put money back in the bank, but will also maybe help you maximize the amount of enjoyment you have in retirement and just take away some of the worry. So if I haven't met you yet, my name is Chris Reed. I'm a chartered financial consultant and I run Capital Partners Wealth Management in a suburb here just outside of Seattle. What I'm gonna start with is something that's super simple to do. You can probably accomplish it in 5 to 10 minutes, and for little to no work, you might be able to capture thousands of dollars, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars back into your retirement budget every year for no work. So in financial planning, that's what I call a win-win. And what that is because I talk to so many retirees every year, a lot of them have used standard financial planning where they have an emergency fund. And over the years, they've accumulated a lot of cash in that emergency fund. Now, a good investment plan will have you probably investing that and making some interest in something that's liquid. But if we look here in the short-term bucket that people typically use, a lot of times there's cash that's making the bank a lot of money, but not really making the account holder a lot of money, because most banks don't really pay a high interest rate on that savings account. If you have that large amount of cash that's sitting there, in my firm, I say you qualify for the ABC plan, and that's anything's better than cash. And maybe that just means calling the bank and seeing if they have a high interest rate account that they can move it into. Or there's a lot of online banks that are willing to pay you 3, 4, or 5% these days. And it's super easy to switch back and forth, reset up all your bill pay, and all of a sudden, if your emergency fund, that money that makes you feel comfortable going to bed at night, is $100,000. And if we can go from making 0% interest to making 4% interest, that could potentially add $300 a month or $4,000 a year back into your retirement plan. Now, you'll still want to have money in that checking account for emergencies, but if you take a real look back at your life, the last time you had an actual emergency where you had to run to the bank and get $10,000 cash maybe never happened in your entire life. So it probably makes sense to trade a little bit of liquidity, move it into an account where you can still have access to it within a day, but now we can start squeezing extra interest out of that account. So option number one is just take and make more interest on your emergency fund. And if you're watching this video and you found a good way or a good bank or a good account that you like to squeeze extra interest out of your idle money, go ahead and throw it into the comments and it might help somebody else. Now, the next thing, it may seem like common sense and a lot of people say, oh, well, this one doesn't apply to me, but I bet you if you took either 5 minutes and did it manually or downloaded a free app, you can go through your budget and you can find a lot of recurring subscriptions and things like that that you haven't checked in on and that you may not still be using. I'm not gonna tell you that my entire family shares passwords for things like Netflix and Amazon Prime and different video services, but the last time I did this exercise, I actually went back in and found some subscriptions that I am paying for that I already have access to. So by cutting out those recurring expenses, maybe for a magazine, you can maybe find $50 or $100 a month. And what you can do is not only can you cancel those, but I've also discovered in a decade of helping people do this, that once money's already coming out, it's already allocated mentally. And so then maybe instead of just cutting it out, maybe we take that 50 to 100 a month that you've already mentally accounted for, and we can put that into an investment account that then can start making more money. So that's a good way, not just to cut an expense, but to start getting some compounding interest on money that you've already kind of spent in your mind anyway. So there are a couple of apps you can use, like Rocket Money, and with the click of a button, they'll go through your accounts and actually pull that data out for you. How do they make money? I don't know. They'll probably try and sell you something, but if you can get a free app to go through and get you $50 or $100 per month that you can turn around and invest, that could make a big difference in your overall investing future. So I'll get to the big, easy, non-negotiable one that you need to go through and cut out of your budget. But first I'm going to talk about one that might be kind of a shot in the ego. Nobody really wants to sign up for this. Nobody wants to walk into Denny's and get like a discount on their meal. But at some point the clock keeps ticking, and once you get old enough, once you get over 50, you're in what I call the retirement danger zone. And that's where we're close enough to retirement for big market fluctuations to really have an impact, or big savings that we can get to have a positive impact. So once you make it over 50, you're in what I call the retirement danger zone. And from an investing standpoint, that's where a big market drop can actually push your retirement off years. But from a savings standpoint, it's actually where things might get a little bit better. So something like AARP, you can see here for $15 a month, I've seen discounts on here of maybe 30% on car rentals. So although you are probably still young and healthy, you probably still feel like you're in your 40s, you might as well enjoy the benefits of being part of a population group that drives a little bit better, gets in fewer accidents. And so you get discounts from places like AARP or AMAC. They don't cost a lot to get involved with, and the savings could be big. And again, going back to the previous tip, once you have those savings, what do you do with them? If they're already coming out of the budget, you might as well invest them. The one thing that I know personally in my own life, and through talking to all my clients, honestly at every stage of their financial planning journey, that we could all probably cut out is those little brown boxes that show up on our porches pretty regularly. Quite honestly, I'm not sure how Amazon has time to deliver to anybody else, since they always seem to be parked outside of my house. But that is an ongoing expense, and Amazon has done a very good job of making it easy to click one button and get something delivered to your door. Now, I know human nature is instant gratification, feels good. We get a little endorphin bump, and you get something you may need or you may just want to your front door, and it's delivered and it's convenient. What I have discovered is a really good technique for trying to keep that expense low, because all those clicks start to add up, is go ahead and get on Amazon, get what you're looking for, put it into your cart, but then turn the app off. Give yourself 24 hours and come back to it the next day. If when you look into that cart, you still need it or want it, or it's gonna make you happy, go ahead and click it and bring it to the front porch. But a lot of times I've really found that, I've made do, or I found another solution to something that I have sitting in my Amazon cart. And even if you can cut out maybe 10 or 15 or 20% of your purchases throughout the year, that's gonna give you more money and more confidence in retirement that you're gonna have enough money until the day you die. The second big thing that this can do, and this is an even greater impact than the dollars and cents that are going to your bank account, and this isn't just for retirees. I've really discovered that the amount of money in the bank is fine. It's a tool, it gets us there. Not having it makes us stressed out. Having a little bit more makes us a little bit less stressed. But simplifying my life is one of those things that's really made a big impact on my own peace of mind. And I'm still years away from retirement. And that comes down to like my retirees, when they want to downsize their house, when their kids have gone out to college, when they don't want to do all the yard maintenance, they're outsourcing things like taking care of their property or their asset management or whatever it is. Simplifying their life is something that's really brought them a lot more peace of mind. It's made them a lot happier. Having less little brown boxes that show up at our door every day, that can really add to saving space, saving time, and saving headspace in not always looking for that little brown box, but going out and enjoying your retirement. So maybe take a look, go back, make a checklist. If some of that is helpful for you, hopefully it'll help you in your financial plan. If you can go through and get some of that freed up money, you can take it to your financial advisor. Maybe they can help you invest it. If you want to take a quiz to see if you're going to have enough money for retirement, you can click pretty much anywhere on this channel. And if you subscribe, you're going to get notified anytime I put something up, and that might help you live just a little bit better financial life. So thanks for watching and happy investing.